is always a win, but especially when you win it against a good football team. Like I said, Winnipeg's, they're doing some good things this year, but as someone said, it truly was a classic game, one to be remembered.
Corey, Anthony Allen's been in your doghouse this year because of what happened early in the season. How nice was it for him to sort of maybe redeem himself in your eyes by getting that touchdown and you giving him the ball in that final drive?
Well, that's just a part of football. Sometimes guys are corrected during different situations. I think he's learned from that, and he's moved forward, and we moved forward. And, he played his role, and he did a good job.
Quick look at this game. What was the key to your guys' victory?
The key was, I think, holding steady. We started pretty hot. We weathered their storm. And then, we stayed together, and we played to the end.
Is this team more of a running team or a passing team?
Whatever it takes to move the ball. We rotate those backs and then we do a pretty good job. But we are run first, especially on first down. But second down, we're going to throw the ball like anyone else.
At any point, did you consider Jared's hand injury and making a switch to Tino?
Never thought about it. Never even crossed my mind.
Special teams, certainly you've got some work there. What's concerning you the most about that, if anything?
Well, it's another part of the game to keep us humble. Right now, 7-2, and we're right where we want to be in terms of wins. But it keeps us humble in the sense that there's things that we have to work on to be good. Our coverage teams have to be better, and just go from there.
What do you think your coverage teams have to do to be better?
Well, we have to go back and look at it. I know we worked on tackling this week, whether it's getting the ball away from those electric returners or doing something different. Those guys are good returners, but we can't allow points on returns.
There seem to be a number of holding calls on that return. Is that you have to fight through those and not even?
It just had to go back and look at those. I'll tell you honestly, I told the guys pregame, I'm not worried about the penalties. Let's just play to the end. And I think guys, they played as hard as they could, but we want to be smart in terms of getting penalties.
Corey, I know you like to go in 6-game phases, but at the start of the year, when you looked at this team, did you think you'd be 7-2 at the midway point?
No. No, I didn't. And that's a phenomenal job of this team coming together. It looked like there would be some early struggles, and I was a little bit, trying to find my way on what this team would be because we had so much turnover. But now settling them to it, I think these guys have done a great job of erasing the past and moving forward.
How do you feel about your run game compared to last year when you threw sheets at them? Now you got any one of 3 guys that you throw in a defense.
Well, when you look at it now, we move forward and we have those 3 guys, and it's different situations for different guys, and I think that's what the hand we were dealt this year, and I think we're playing our cards as well as we can this year, and like I said, what we were dealt.
As a defensive guy, Corey, when you take a look at the 5 guys you've got on the offensive side, is this some of the best offensive line play that there is?
Those guys are definitely moving the ball and doing a good job. Doug does a good job coaching them and George and those guys, and I think it is a testament to those guys. They do play well, but if you look at it, I can't think who it was that had the stat when Chris Best out of the lineup what our record is, but Chris Best was out and Dan Clark came in and did a good job.
But when you take a look, like the last 3 minutes there, you could have easily scored and not killed the clock. You basically ran the clock out and just pounded it out. What kind of a weapon is that?
Well, the biggest thing, I tell you, George and I talked, the biggest thing was like, hey, let's win it off Milo's leg. I didn't want to, that was what we talked about, and then they just happened to break through on one of those running plays for a touchdown. But the whole thing was, let's run the clock out, let's run the ball, and let's try to win it off his leg.
What's happening with Bartel and those running to the side?
This is Aussie-style kicks, and he had one block today. But sometimes that's what we ask him to do, just because it gets the return team off kilter.
How serious is his leg injury?
I don't even know. I hadn't even met with the medical. After all this is over, that's when I meet with medical.
So do you have the same game plan going to these guys next Sunday?
No, there are some things we'll see how they adjust it. There's some things they adjusted to us, and going into this 3rd game, playing them, especially on the back-to-back. There's things that'll change, obviously because of your personnel and different things like that.
Because defenses have been so tough across the league. Do you think this was going to be a game where 65 points were going to be scored total with 2 defenses that were so good?
I could just tell you, I told the guys and I told Big Jim, I said, somewhere around 33 points would be scored. I just hope it's us. And I didn't know that both sides would have that, but I knew it'd be a tough game. Like I said, I'm never going to, we have a good football team, but like I told Kyle and Mike, they're doing a hell of a job over there with getting that team ready to play.
How much of a distraction was it this week trying to rush Weston into the line?
Not much. Not much. We've seen and had so much, ups and downs that we were good, but it was good to get them going.
How did he play?
I thought he did okay for what I saw. There's a couple of balls you wish he had back, but I thought he did pretty good as far as touching the balls and moving a little bit and trying to find his way. And coming back on a short week.
What did you think your record would be at this point?
What I think, I'm not 7-2, maybe 6 or something. No, I'm not gonna say. But like I said, with all the turnover, I had my doubts. But these guys in the locker room and the coaches, and they've done a good job of making sure that we race the pass and move forward.
With Tash having the struggles that he's had when he had that drop, how nice was it to see him make that big play in the fourth?
It was awesome. It was awesome. A couple of those guys struggled, but then they redeemed themselves. So it was awesome. I could just tell you when the ball was coming down, I was like, Taj, catch this one. And it was good for him to do that.
It's not an excuse, but a reason you have so many Canadians on the injured list that would be playing on your special coverage teams. Is that part of the reasons you don't have your key Canadian guys being able to contribute?
Well, it's just consistency and having the key guys that we started with. But, like I said, it's not an excuse. It's no different than we just talked about what I thought the season would be. With a new group of guys, we have to turn it over, and we have to be as good as the last group of guys.
They said that this is the best Labor Day game since 2007. Do you even like it when people mention the 2007?
I was in that Labor Day game, and I lost it. And it was a last-second thing. So, and hey, the only thing about that is Winnipeg went to the Grey Cup that year, so I don't want that to play out. Well, hold on, Dan. Who'd they lose to? Oh, Saskatchewan. Yeah, well, maybe that's a Western final or something. But no, it was a good Labor Day. And like I said, that'll go down for a long time. When I look back on it 20, 30 years, hopefully I'm not ashamed of the way I look.
Are you enjoying the season? Settle on one running back, or are you content with this rookie?
No, hey, we're not settling. Like I said, the hand that was dealt is we have guys with three different makeups, and we'll use those makeups.
Are you enjoying the season?
I am enjoying the season. I'm enjoying it just because I'm seeing these guys grow. I'm seeing guys take the next step in their careers, and just getting a little bit more settled in the way that we do things this year.